I'm going to walk you through exactly how I made over $5,700 in the month of April using arbitrage sports betting. And the best part is that I did all of this with only 1 to 2 hours of work per day and started my arbitrage journey with only $500 in bankroll. If you've never heard of arbitrage betting, it's a mathematical strategy that allows you to place money on both sides of an outcome, and you are guaranteed to win no matter what happens. It's not gambling, it's strategy and math working in your favor. I'm going to show you a couple different examples and break down exactly how I did it throughout this video, so let's get right into it. So like I said, arbitrage betting works because sportsbook are so out of line. You can see a bunch of different examples on the screen that I've got up here, and you can see here all the different books that offer these lines and that they're out of sync. You can see here that our average bet size is $200, and you can change this to be any number you want. I'm going to keep it at this for this example though. So we click on the calculator and we can see that if we place $200 on the over, we're going to win $383. If we place $160 on the under, we're going to win $377. So in total, we've bet $360. We've got a total payout on average of $380.54, which is a $20.54 profit, aka a 5.4% profit for this individual arbitrage bet. And again, this works because there are so many books out there and there's no way that they are universally synced. 5% arbitrage opportunity like this was extremely normal for me. I did anywhere from 4 to 8% on average per arbitrage bet that I was placing, with me hitting multiple arbitrages over 10 and 15%. This software that you're seeing me use right now is called OddsJam, and I use this to find all the arbitrage opportunities. I'm mostly doing live arbitrage betting right now, but these are pre-game arbitrage opportunities you're seeing because I'm recording this at 10:30 a.m. And don't worry, if you don't have any of the books that you just saw, you can set up your filters to have exactly what you want. So very quickly, I'm going to run you through it. You can go and click through any of these sports books here. They have pretty much anyone you can imagine, and they'll even show you your specific state. I'm in Indiana, so they're showing me Indiana books, and you can click those in. You can set your min or max odds. I don't ever really typically mess around with this. The percentage I have is 3% because I know at bare minimum that's what I want to be getting from an arbitrage opportunity. When I'm starting out, I would highly suggest doing 1 to 2% so you can get the hang of this. Right now, I'm focused on basketball, baseball, and hockey. Basketball and football are two of my biggest sports, and I know the most about them, so that's what I really like hitting during those seasons. You can then choose specific leagues in those sports, and then you can even choose what type of markets you're going to be hitting. So if you want to do alternate markets, player props like a player over-under points, rebounds, assists, or a main market like, hey, I think the Thunder are going to win versus the Nuggets. I have date range selected to next 7 days just for the sake of this video, but next 24 hours is typically how I like to have it selected. And then if you want to hone in on a specific game, you can type in the team name and it'll pick that game for you. And in the month of April, I did all of this using FanDuel, Novig, Flip, ProfitX, and then some prop builder books. So I didn't have 15 or 20 different books. I mainly was using 2 to 4 books every single day. Like I said, when I started out with this, I started with $500, and April was my 4th month of arbitrage betting, and I've now done over $20,000 just from arbitrage betting. You can see my results here from April with pretty much all winning days, a couple of losses due to some riskier bets that I placed that weren't on the arbitrage side. But overall, we did over $5,700. And during this, I almost exclusively focused on live NBA arbitrage betting. So 90% of this was live NBA bets with some MLB live mixed in there. But 100% of this was live arbitrage betting, and that is what I highly suggest everybody move to as soon as possible. Not only will this help with longevity of your books, but you also will open yourself to so much bigger opportunities here. And I've got a couple recommendations for you, whether you want to start with pregame or live arbs right out the bat. This is what I would be doing if I started and wanted to have the most successful 30 days possible. Number 1 is start small and get your reps in. I would set this percentage to 1% starting out. And I wouldn't even actually place the ARBs at the beginning. I would just input the numbers and get used to the flow and setup and see how quickly the lines move so you know exactly what you're looking for before I ever actually place an ARB. Once I set that to 1%, I would actually go ahead here and just change this to $20. That's because, again, even if you have $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, you don't want to risk it for the very first couple bets that you're placing. So I would go ahead and just put that at $20 with 1% being the minimum, and then practice some of those reps and then get a couple real reps in the $20 range. From there, I would move up to $50 and then $100 and even $200 per side once you get more and more comfortable depending on your bankroll. I would also really focus on recycling your bankroll as much as possible. And what that means is, let's say there's baseball games throughout the day. You typically are going to have games that maybe start at 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and then 9 o'clock. Well, if you place a good amount of your bankroll on those 3 o'clock games, you can then, once that money pays out, place them during the 7 o'clock games. And then once that money pays out, play some during the 9 o'clock games. So you can now use your bankroll 3 separate times technically. So you go from $1,000 maximum you can spend per day to now recycling that 3 times. So you've got $3,000 you can spend each day, which will 3x your profits. I would also, whenever possible, use the one-click bet option that OddsJam gives you. So books like FanDuel, DraftKings, BetMGM, Hard Rock, they will have one-click bet options where you can click the button and it will automatically load the bet in for you. All you have to do then is just actually put in the amount you want to place for that bet. This is pivotal for beginners because you want to move as quick as possible. So now that you've seen my filters, you've got some advice from me, you know my results, what you're really going to need to get set up with this is you're going to need some sort of phone or laptop where you can be placing these bets. You'll need access to Wi-Fi. I would suggest at bare minimum a $500 starting bankroll, and then you're going to need some patience to really get down your process. If I was just starting out, I would go and sign up for books like FanDuel, DraftKings, Fanatics, BetMGM, Hard Rock, Novig, Fliff, ProfitX, just to name a couple different ones. And then what I would actually do is I would go into OddsJam and I would go to their promo converter tool where you can now use the different bonus bets that these books will give you when you sign up and use that to increase your bankroll. I used this in the very first week of using OddsJam, and I went from a $500 bankroll to adding over $800 just from the bonus bets. So I more than doubled my bankroll in the first week because I was converting these bonus bets. Once you get your methods down, you know what books you really like to use, I would transition to the live arbitrage betting as quickly as possible because that's where the real money and longevity is with arbitrage sports betting. If you want to try out OddsJam for yourself, there's going to be a link in the description where you can sign up for a 7-day free trial. And if you use my code CLARK, you will get 35% off when you do sign up for a paid plan. If you have any questions at all about this process, any of the books I'm using, just any questions in any form, leave them in the comment section below and I'll make sure to answer every single one of them for you. Also, subscribe for more videos like this.